Alrighty, it's time for the tier list. Let me switch this over to that. There we go. It is time for the tier list. Whatever, guy. What's up, guys? This is United Protector saying. We just did the Emerald Boss Battles tier list, like I like to call it. Remember, Chili is supposed to be Maxi, and Wake is supposed to be Archie, and Blue is your rival. I just had those fill in. Anyways, this is the tier list. Here's how I'm gonna order this. So I still have my band tier, the SS band. I'm not gonna start with the S tier. I'm not gonna start with A tier, B tier, any of that. I am simply going to rank Pokemon. Like I'm going to start out. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start with Sceptile. I'm gonna put it here. I'll talk about how good I think Sceptile is, and then Blaziken I'm going to rank based on where Sceptile is. Do I think Blaziken is about as good as Sceptile? Do I think it's a little bit worse? Do I think it's better? So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here for example, and then Swampert I will place here, and then I'll just like keep going, and I'll place off all the other Pokemon, and I'll add tiers, and I'll move tiers around and stuff until I get to until we get to the end, and then at the very end I will change all of these tiers to a letter tiering ring that I think they are. So like one will be S. If Sceptile is here, this could be A tier, this could be A plus, this could be S minus, this could be B, like that. That's how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna completely. It's gonna be a ton of tiers. This is gonna be like a really convoluted tier list. Like there's just so much that's gonna happen. It's gonna be very. But I'm gonna try to make this as like detailed as I can, and maybe not as detailed as I can, but like as separated as I can, so things are pretty clear of like how, like an example was like Beautyfly and Ninjask were both in the C tier, but I think these two are definitely like way different in how you use them, so I'm separating things like that. So that's the point of this. So if you don't worry about Sceptiles in tier 2. I don't just don't say it. If you comment stuff like that, I'm not gonna respond. Anyways, let's start. So Sceptile, I'm gonna start here. Sceptile is good for Souls Roxanne. Grovyle is good for Watson. Not great, but good. Then you have a little break for Flannery. You're not really using it against Norman. And Winona, probably not using it. Hopefully not using it against. But then it's amazing for Lizentate, who's pretty hard. I'm going to go back to this. Like, just refresh you on what I think about some of the hard and important fights in the game. I'll pull Steven away just because he's not actually in Emerald. So this is what I think. So just remember that. This is kind of how I'm basing, if a Pokemon's really good against Watson and Norman, but they're not good against, like, Flannery, I'm going to put that more in their favor, because Flannery's easy, in my opinion, so. That's how it is. Really good for Lizentate, great for Juan, and then for the Elite Four. Fine for just, like, some Glacier, you have to watch out, make sure you don't get, like, one-shot by Ice Beams and stuff, but if you, like, you can set Grovyle in Overgrow range before you go into the Elite Four, and it's going to outspeed everything, and, like, Leaf Blade will okay everything, so you can, like, do that, which is actually really good. And then you can solo, like, half of Wallace's team with Grovyle, or with Sceptile, so it's a really consistent offensive grass type, which is just so useful in Emerald. And Blaziken, I think, is worse than Sceptile. And I'll do my starter talk after I talk about Swampert. It's exactly not good when you get it. It's like, it has Peck for Brawly, I guess. And then it is good for Watson if you have, like, a good team built around the Combuskin being the thing to kill Watson's Magneton, which you can do if you have, like, Gloom Sleep Powder. If you can, like, get Gloom to Sleep Powder the Magneton, and then you get Flamethrower from the game corner and you teach it to Combuskin, and Combuskin can Flamethrower the Magneton, and that's, like, the plan there. But if it's just straight up 1v1's Magneton, unless you have, like, super specific EV training on things, it will get outsped and will probably lose and die. Unless your Flamethrower can, like, one-shot. I don't know. It's kind of risky. But it's good for Watson. Good for Flannery. It's good for Norman, like the side Pokemon, but it's still Combuskin for Norman, which really pulls it down. If it was Blaziken for Norman, it would be better, but you're just based off level caps. You're still a Combuskin, and you're not actually Blaziken until like the Elite Four, because you're not going to use it against like anything up until the Elite Four. So it's kind of like the viability of Combuskin. Combuskin is just not that good, so it's like down here. Then for Elite Four, it's good for two of them, Sydney and Glacia. And Swampert should be banned. It's too good. It carries it carries like 90% of the game. Carries Roxanne, carries Watson, carries Flannery, can carry Winona. It can carry Liz and Tate. Because like the only thing that threatens you on Liz and Tate's gym is the Soul Rock that has Solar Beam, but it's going to be a second turn attack no matter what, because it either has to set Sunny Day and then to shoot the Solar Beam, or charge the Solar Beam up. So like you can just surf it twice at that point and kill it, or just switch Swampert out. And then for the Elite Four, it's like it can Ice Beam, and it can completely wall and Ice Beam everything on Drake's team, which is just so good. Like just completely solos like half the game for you. Mighty Anna, I'm putting here. I think it's about as useful as Blaziken. Intimidate is so rare. There's like three Pokemon exactly who have Intimidate. The other one is Gyarados, and the other one is Salamence. And Salamence you're not getting till the very end of the game. Like the very end of the game. Let me just get Rayquaza out of here. You literally cannot use Rayquaza. So, I'll talk about Gyarados later. So it's like one of the only Intimidators you have. Intimidate is just such a useful tool. Plus, like being a Dark type in this region is so good for Liz and Tate and for Phoebe. So there's like just two late game matchups that you're good for. You have Intimidate early on. You evolve early. You can also just solo Roxanne with like Bite. Like Bite with like one flinch and you're good. So very useful. Literally just Intimidate carries it. And like it's a better support Pokemon than it is like an offensive Pokemon, but just Intimidate shuffling, there's just so many things you can do with like Norman. Norman, if you have a Soul Rock and a Mighty Anna, or a Sableye and a Mighty Anna, or something like that, you can really easily shuffle between the normal type attacks. You have your Soul Rock or your Sableye, you have your normal resist. It'll switch in from Mighty Anna to take the normal type attacks, and then it switches out because the feint attack comes in, and the feint attack is coming out from the opponent. Mighty Anna switches into the feint attack, intimidates, and then you just switch out, and you can like completely neuter something like Norman's Vigoroth, which is pretty scary. It should be like a tough fight. So like there's just like some things like that, and Norman's Gym, and also just like other intimidate shuffling tactics you can do with Mighty Anna. That's just so good for Nuzlocke. I don't understand why people don't think Mighty Anna's like so good. Linoon is early game headbutt is great, especially with Silk Scarf. Good speed, good coverage moves, good HMs, and then Belly Drum later, which isn't usable until Glacia, but Glacia is tough. Unless you hold a Zigzagoon's levels back forever, which why would you do that? Why would you not use Linoon early? Because the whole good thing about Linoon is that it evolves at like level 20. And you could use it early. But it's a great early game Pokemon, and then it comes in at the very end of the game with the last few hard fights with some Belly Drum strats that can completely cheese. So I think it's about as good as these guys. Beautify sucks. Dookie is good for exactly Brawly, and it can maybe Stun Spore the electric types in Watson's gym if it doesn't get one shot. And that's literally it. That's all it does. That's literally all it does. Dustox is also going with these guys because Dustox is amazing early game. You have Confusion for Roxanne. Even though it's weak to Rock, it's still like it's gonna be hitting pretty hard. It will solo Brawly because it quad resists fighting, and Confusion's gonna hit everything except for the Metatite, super effective. And yeah, it's good stuff. It's got a really nice supportive moveset and really good bulk. It's like I think it's the bulkiest non-resist to Watson that you'll have at this point. Like, I mean, non-resist, I mean like grass types and like electric types who resist electric type moves. Dustox is the bulkiest. It's got like 90 special defense. It has Moonlight for recovery. It learns Protect. And then it has Protect. It's like perfect for the Protect Toxic Stall against Norman's slacking, so excellent there. And then it's like useless after that, but like really, really good early game. Super, super good early game. Like, I feel like it's useful in the same amount of sections of the game that like all of these guys are. And honestly, Blaziken's the worst here. Actually, okay, so I need to talk about the starters real quick. This is my strategy for starters. In Nuzlocke, you have like, there's usually 2 rules of how to starters. Either one, you can pick your starter, and if you're picking your starter, pick Swampert every time unless you're banning it. The other option is you go by your trainer ID number and then you pick it randomly. Or the third option, which I recommend, don't use a starter at all. Because starter takes away your Route 101 encounter, which is always a Zigzagoon. I think is it a Zigzagoon, Poochyena, and a Wurmple? I could do like a little bit more of a guide on this. What the hell is that? I could do like a little bit more of a guide on this if you guys want like a short video, like a 5-minute video. Yeah, it's one of these 3. But encountering one of these 3 early on, what it does is it takes these encounters away from other routes where you could possibly get a Wingull. So if in Route 1, so you have Route 101, and you have Route 102, and then right above that you have Route 103 where you can get Wingull up here, which is stupid good encounter. It just like takes these encounters away from those other ones, so it increases your chances of getting Pelipper or a Swellow or Breloom or a Slacking later on in the forest. Like it just gives you better encounter rates later on. So because otherwise you're like risking one of these 3 in the forest. While I'm gonna be honest, Swellow, Pelipper, Breloom are all more useful than both of these starters. Just both of them. Like Sceptile, there's maybe an argument for it, but they're all 3 are way more useful, and it's like Slacking too, way more useful than Blaziken. So I recommend not picking a starter. If you do pick a starter, if you are like picking a starter, pick Swampert unless you ban it, then pick Sceptile. Unless you really want Blaziken, like unless you really want to use Blaziken. Otherwise, I would say don't use starters. Just don't. Ludicolo, dude, Ludicolo gets so screwed because so Ludicolo endgame is amazing, but you don't get a Waterstone until dive, which sucks so much. But sucks so much, but because you're stuck with a shitty little Lombre for the entire game. But for the end game, like once you get Ludicolo, Juan, it's excellent for, absolutely excellent for Juan, because it just like out rain teams the rain team that Juan has. Same with Wallace, like it completely dumps on those 2. It's a great Ice Beam user for for Drake, and it's also like pretty good against Glacia. That's about it. But like 4 of the last few matchups are just like kind of soloed by Ludicolo, and that's the whole reason it stays here. But not the same tier because it is not as good as these guys, so I have to pull it down. So here's going to be a new tier. I'm just going to call this 5. I'm going to call this 4. Let's give it a new color. Let's throw green on it. There we go. Shift Tree. You get Leaf Stone way sooner. So you can get Leaf Stone as soon as you get Surf on your way to Fortree City. Get the music playing again. There we go. On the way to Fortree City, you can get Shift Tree, and its Dark typing makes it just more useful and more scenarios, and not being resisting Electric is really good. So both of these 2 are a great answer for Roxanne. You don't really use either against Brawly. And Nuzleaf will actually resist Watson, so it's good there. Neither are really good against Flannery. Like even Lombre with what water type move do you have? And then Shift Tree kind of sits out for a while until, I mean, you have Fake Out on these 2 for Norman. That's like the also nice thing is you can like fake out the Slacking and then go to the second turn and like, I don't know, do something there, I guess. But Liz and Tate is when these 2 come back, and because you can't evolve Lombre into Ludicolo, like that just really holds it back. Because Lombre versus Liz and Tate, it's such a bad Pokemon. But Shift Tree is excellent for those 2. It's such a good Pokemon for Liz and Tate. It's like the perfect Pokemon. It's like the perfect Pokemon. The only attack that they have that hits you is Solrock's Flamethrower, but that Solrock is going to set Sunny Day for you. So just Solar Beam that shit. Just Just smack it. You get feint attack too. You can even delay it, the evolution a little bit longer and get extra sensory, but you don't really need it. You just like feint attack, solar beam, sunny day, giga drain, something like that, and it's really good. So it's like good for early game, like pretty decently usable for early game. Just because you also have like the thief TM for Nuzleaf, so you can at least give it like a decent stab move for a while. So it's just like way more useful early game than like Lombre is, and it evolves just a lot earlier. And then still amazing for Juan, like a little bit less good for Juan than Ludicolo is, but still good. Same thing with Wallace, and it also takes care of Phoebe, so it's like it's good for like just a couple times more than Ludicolo is. I think Ludicolo is better in the sections where you have both of them, but you also have like the dark type, which is really useful, and I think Shiftry is definitely up here, and it can be so strong. It's on my best team for Emerald because grass and dark typing are just like both those types are so good for Emerald. Swellow has guts, and that's amazing. Swellow's speed with guts and facade and silk scarf is crazy. You blow things up. It does have some bad matchups, but you blow things up, and that's crazy. Pelipper's up here too. Pelipper, water flying, so your water typing takes care of Roxanne. Your flying typing takes care of Brawly. Do not use it for Watson. And then you can take care of Flannery. You get protect, and you can teach a toxic. So you can protect, toxic, stall out the slacking and Norman's gym. So first 5 gyms, there's only 1 you're bad against. The rest you like carry, and then you carry Winona. Teach a shockwave, teach an ice beam. You carry Winona. You are immune to earthquake, and you're a water type. So you're smacking Liz and Tate. You are a water type with shockwave. So you're very good against Juan. Like you're good against every single gym except for Watson. Everything else you are amazing for. And then for the Elite Four, you have Ice Beam for Drake. You are neutral to like everything else. And then for Wallace, you are a water resist with electric type coverage. That is so good. It's literally good against the only matchup it's bad against is Watson. That's the only one it's bad against. The only one in the game it's bad against. Which, like, Watson's hard, so that sucks. But, like, it can basically carry everything else. It is the best Pokemon on this list outside of Swampert. Even then, like, it's not as good. It's not as hard of a carry as Swampert for, like, some of the hardest things. But, like, dude, Pelipper is so good. And you can guarantee yourself one. Yeah, you can, like... I think you all but... No, you definitely can guarantee one. There's so many chances to get a Pelipper. You basically guarantee yourself one. Gardevoir. Curlia... If you evolved into Gardevoir earlier, you'd be better. You're, like, neutral to everything. You're neutral to everything, but Curlia is not bulky enough to really be as effective against some of the hard matchups like Watson and Flannery to, like, set up the early Calm Mind Psychic that you get. You're just not bulky enough to do. Like it's hard to do with Watson paralyzing you and just hitting you hard and stuff. But Gardevoir is a really strong Pokemon later on. I'll put it behind Sceptile. It's like its stats. It's too good of a Pokemon. I think it's definitely around Sceptile. Maybe worse than Sceptile. Like this could be another tier shift. I don't think it's better than these Pokemon for sure. This could be another tier shift. I don't know if I want to separate it from Sceptile. I think it's pretty close to Sceptile. And just like, it's a super strong Pokemon for a lot of the game, but it's just like neutral stuff. And then you have to watch out because the first 2 Elite Four members are not good against, but then the rest you're like, okay for? You're like, okay for everything. You have like Psychic Electric coverage. You set up Calm Mind, which can be cool and like really strong. So you're like, I don't know. You're good. You're just a good Pokemon, but like not good matchups, but just a good Pokemon. Breloom's super useful. I've talked about Breloom. It's the best grass type early on when it's Shroomish, then evolves into Breloom exactly for Watson, and is probably the hardest carry for Watson that's not a ground type. And then it's also 130 attack stat with Mach Punch. And like Sky Uppercut or Brick Break, and you have like Sludge Bomb and Rock Tomb for coverage if you need it. You can delay evolution like crazy and get Spore. It's one of the best physical attackers in the game, and fighting type is super useful. And it's probably the best fighting type, maybe. It's fighting for the best fighting type with another character, with another Pokemon, but it's absolutely amazing. Slacking is like Gardevoir, just stupid good. Truant like sucks, but even like Vigoroth is such a good Pokemon for a long time. And then evolves into Slacking, and even with Truant, your base stat total is the same as like Groudon. You have a Groudon. You have a Groudon in your team that attacks every other turn, but like just teach it like return and smack things the one turn it can act. So just teach it really strong moves and slack off. So do like return, Shadow Ball, Earthquake, slack off, and you just smack. He hits so hard, and then like you're so bulky that the turn you can't act and you get attacked, and then you can just like heal off with slack off. You're such a stupid good Pokemon. You're so, oh my god, so strong. Still behind Sceptile though. Probably I think better than Gardevoir. Alakazam. You can have an Alakazam really early. Level 16. A level 16 Alakazam. Evolve it at that point. If you have trade evolutions. Evolve it at that point. Like, as soon as it turns into Kadabra, evolve it. You can have an Alakazam for Brawly, which just, like, smacks Brawly so hard. You have an Alakazam for Watson, which is amazing. And then you have an Alakazam for the entire game. And then, like, he falls off later, but this is probably, like, the strongest early game Pokemon. Like, a level 16 Alakazam is fucking crazy. I think I do have to put it here. Just because having a level 16 Alakazam is so crazy. So crazy. Even without coverage, just, like, Psybeam, Recover, Shockwave, Thief. I don't know. What else do you need? Like, what else do you need? I mean, don't teach a Shockwave, because you need Shockwave on Pelipper, but, like, you can teach a Psychic really early. You can teach a Psychic by a Mavo, which is crazy. And Kadabra is significantly worse, just because it's not Alakazam, but it's still very good. I'd still put it Gardevoir tier. I think it's right next to Gardevoir. They have like basically the same special attack stat. It's much frailer than Gardevoir, but it's also faster and has Recover. So even though it's like not as bulky, I mean you're competing with the Curlier for a long time, which you're going to be as bulky as. Then you have Recover, which you can learn in the middle of the Watson fight. So you're good Pokemon. Actually, I might put it above Gardevoir. No, I think if you get a trade, Gardevoir will eventually outshine Kadabra, but they're like neck and neck, and then Psychic types just fall off later in game because they're just not as useful as other types. Ninjask is it Ludicolo tier? No. This is gonna be another tier. Here's where things start growing. Ninjask is like exactly in between these two. Like it's way more useful than Beautyfly because you have like Baton Pass strategies, or it's like it's fast and everything, and you have like decently good coverage with like Shadow Ball and like Dig, Aerial Ace. I don't know. And then level 20 Evolution's pretty cool, but like there's just not gyms you will ever want to use it against, like ever. So I think its main niche is Baton Pass, which can be good, which can be like really good, like setting up a really scary Pokemon. Like imagine Baton passing a Swords Dance speed boost to like Breloom. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like plus two attack, plus 2 speed, like Breloom, or Slacking, or I don't know, like just things. Like there's just so many things you can just like pass to and be really strong. I don't feel like I need to explain this. Wonder Guard. I don't feel like I need to explain that. Exploud. I think it's Ninjask tier. I think it's about the strongest Ninjask. It's not. Whismur sucks, but Loudrin can learn Flamethrower for Watson, which is actually like that's nice. That's very nice. If you're just screwed with encounters, it could just be something to take on the Magneton. It's not really good against like anything else on Watson's team, but like it could be like an emergency answer to that Magneton, which is huge. And then Exploud, it's not very bulky. It's not like paper thin, but it's not very bulky. But it has some okay coverage, so it's like a decent attacker. I can see this thing being like really good for my like eventually I'm going to do an Emerald run of like B tier and below. So right now, I would call B tier would be like this 3 and below, so I can't use any of these guys. And I can see Explode being good for that, just for pure coverage, but like that's kind of it. Hariyama, Breloom tier, dude. Alakazam, level 16 Alakazam. Oh my god, so stupid strong, so stupid strong. I was underrating Alakazam. I didn't realize it. Just like I didn't really think about it. I knew he could do it. I just didn't like think about like level 16 Alakazam. Behind Pelipper. Pick it up. I'll keep it here, whatever. But Hariyama, super good. It'll evolve by Watson, and outside of Breloom, it's so good for Watson. Especially with Guts, you just like Guts Vital Throw, or Arm Thrust, Quick Claw. Yeah, Fake Out for chip damage. Fighting type is so good. You even have Thick Fat to be like even better for like Flannery. And Glacia, you're probably the best. I think Hariyama is the best Glacia counter in the game. And she can be kind of tough. You still have to watch out for like the explosion, but you can like... Honestly, you might be able to sponge the explosion if you just haven't taken hits thus far, because Hariyama's super bulky. Super bulky. And then the coolest thing about him is he's got Belly Drum at like 34. Like everyone talks about Linen Belly Drum. Dude, Hariyama Belly Drum is where it's at. You can Belly Drum, rest with a Chesto Berry. You can Belly Drum, Resto Berry, and then like Break plus other move. And it's so good. You even have like a Smelling Salts combo with Electric Ties that Thunder Wave for like decent funny cheese damage, you know. Super, super good. I've actually I don't know which I think is better between Breloom and Hariyama. I don't know, but they're both so good. They're both so good. I don't know. I don't know. I'll do it like this. Just because Hariyama's a better Glacian counter than Breloom is, because Breloom's actually weak to ice. I think that's what's gonna do it for me. I think I had Breloom in my mind. I had Breloom above Hariyama, but it's something like they're amazing. Like this is the amazing tier. Seaking is like Beautyfly, is good for 2 gyms. Is exactly good for 2 gyms, but it's not even that good against one of them. It is a Pokemon that can use a flying type move against Brawly, which is cool. I mean, just like it's a free encounter in Dewford, or not Dewford. In Dewford. No, not Dewford. Sorry. What is the town that Norman's gym is? I can't remember it, but I can't remember the name right now. I'm blanking, but that town, you can fish for it there, get a free Goldeen. Has Peck, has Horn Drill, so it's like good for Brawly, for Watson, and then good. It's a guaranteed water type for Flannery. So like, what are you guys struggling against Flannery for? You have guaranteed water types. This is one of them. Even though its stats like suck, like who cares? That's like you use it for Flannery and then you never use it again. It's like better for Beauty. It's like Beautyfly. It's like good for like 2 gyms and that's it. Gyarados, you should ban. You should ban Gyarados. Makes the game really easy. It's Intimidate. It's Gyarados. I'm not explaining Gyarados. You should ban it. It makes the game too easy. Otherwise, it's here. All the banned Pokemon are like in this tier or higher. That's why they're here. Azumarill is... Where is Azumarill? Where does Azumarill go? It can have huge power. You don't have any stab to back up that huge power, but like huge power strength rollout is still not bad. But you're not really getting like belly drum stuff going. It's like doesn't like have a lot to do with huge power, but it's like pretty good early game for Roxanne, and I mean its huge power rollout will completely dump on Flannery and can be like pretty good for Winona. And it's like okay in my like B tier run and stuff, it'll be like pretty good for a lot of stuff. I think it's probably it's somewhere between here, and I don't want to separate the tiers that much. I'm gonna put it there. I think it's like Sploud tier. It might actually, maybe Thick Fat is better for Flannery, because then you like quad resist fire. You can just like quad resist fire and ice, which can be cool. So it's like niche for those 2 matchups, and like huge power can like be pretty good offensive. It's not gonna have good offenses, but it's a bulky water. It's like the worst bulky water type in the game, but it's still a bulky water type, which is just good. So yeah, there's fine. Probably put it above these two. Graveler can solo Watson, then also solo Flannery, and be good for Norman, and be good for Winona's gym. Not entirely her fight, and then it's like kind of useless after that. Golem is a little bit better later on, but like not that much. Not that much really. Yeah, no, they hit a hard drop off, but they hard carry. And I'm going to separate them into their own tier. I feel like I have to put them in their own tier. Because I'm just not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry about numbers too much. But I'm putting both of them in this tier. And this literally might be their own tier. They hard carry one of the hardest fights. Like, they completely solo Watson, which can be one of the hardest fights. And so their encounter, it can be so good, because every early game encounter is just, like, free to not have to worry about dying from some things. Like, just free. It just completely solos Watson, and then also Flannery, and then also good, like, not solos, but good for Norman, and then, like, decent for Winona. And then hard just disappears after that. Like, use it for an explosion strategy after that, literally, or like HMs, like it disappears after that, completely disappears. But it's so good early. It's like so good early. It's like its usefulness is on par with these guys, and like the amount of time of how it's useful, but its usefulness for that time is on par with like these ban-worthy guys. It's like it's so good, so good. If you get it in Granite Cave, it's like, oh my god. So yeah, it's its own tier. Nose Pass, okay. This is going to be the lowest tier. The lowest tier of Pokemon that do literally nothing for you. Does literally nothing. Delcatty does literally nothing, but at least it does maybe a little bit more than Nose Pass. Crobat is another just really good Pokemon. Excuse me. It's just a good Pokemon. But its matchups are not great, so it's kind of like here with these guys. But I think it's just strong. Quad resist for Brawly, but like you don't have the moves, any moves to really hit Brawly for hard. You're just like neutral, but you can have a Crobat at level 23. If you just super grind Friendship out, or you're using a ROM and you do a cheat or a hack or something to you just have max Friendship. And Crobat stats are really good. Stupid fast. Bulky, not hitting super hard, but at least you do have like Stab Slush Bomb. And I don't really see its use for like all the matchups, but it's just like it's just a good Pokemon. Put it like here. Tentacruel is not that good. The poison typing on it just hurts it so bad. Kind of like with Crobat. Like if Crobat wasn't a poison type, it would be higher, but the poison typing just holds it back from things like Liz and Tate, where having a flying type to be immune to Earthquake would be good. And that's just like for Tentacruel, like having a bulky water for Liz and Tate would be so cool, but you are weak to Earthquake from not only Liz and Tate's Claydol, you're also weak to the Psychics there, and you're also weak to the Earthquake that Winona's Altaria has. So you can't even Altaria. You can't even check her Altaria with an Ice Beam. Like you have to make sure you're faster, but if there's a Dragon Dance has gone off, you're dead. You're dead. Dead. So I think it's like not the worst bulky water type, but I would straight up use Azumarill over Tentacruel in a lot of things. Oh, the more I think about it, dude, I really would use Azumarill more than Tentacruel. But Tentacruel is a good Pokemon. Like it actually is just a better Pokemon. Even Drake has just like random earthquakes. Like Flygon's got earthquakes. You have to be careful. And Flygon's as fast as you. And I'm pretty sure Drake's Flygon, just because of like IVs and EVs, will be faster than you. And that earthquake's just gonna drop you, dude. It's gonna drop you. But it does completely wall out like Wallace and Juan. So it's like the best. It's like super good defensively against like Wallace and Juan, except for their earthquakes. There's just everything has earthquake, dude. Everything has earthquake, and every earthquake is gonna drop you. And like everything that has earthquake is something that you would want to use a bulky water type for. and I can't think of it. But it is also really good for Glacia too. So it is a defensive monster. So I put it here. But like the Earthquake spam in the end game just super sucks. Super sucks. Behind Ludicolo, I'll put it like here. Sableye. Here? Here? Not here. Brawley doesn't touch it. It's actually decent. It's decent for Watson. I'm gonna say decent and not amazing, but like it can have some really cool pivot stuff with the Sableye and like an Incada. There's some really cool pivot stuff you can do with Watson, and also like Sableye and Mighty Anna have really good pivoting against Norman. It's really good pivot Pokemon, but it doesn't do damage because stats suck booty butt cheeks. So it's like Watson, Norman, and Liz and Tate are like the only times you could ever use this thing. But even against Norman, like yet if you're not using it for pivot strategies against Norman, the phase attacks will one-shot you and you just drop because you suck. Your stats are so bad. No, but Nightshade's good for Watson. Fake out Nightshade is like good chip damage for Watson. That's cool. Here. Here. I could even put these two, Sableye and Azumarill, separate from these four, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Mawile and Emerald you don't get till Elite Four, but it actually has it's one of the other Intimidators I actually skipped over. This is not the placement. I'm just gonna place it here. It has Intimidate. It has Baton Pass. You have like Iron Defense, Baton Pass, which you can do. I real quick have to look up Mawile. I can't remember what all it can do for Baton Pass. It's like it has no offensive capabilities and its stats suck, but Steel typing and Intimidate really makes up for it defensively, and then also having Baton Pass strategy is actually pretty good. If only you could Baton Pass stockpile at that point, but you learn Baton Pass by level up. And you have Iron Defense, which you can Baton Pass, which is super cool. And you could teach it like Double Team, Baton Pass things that way. That's kind of it though, which sucks. It learns Swords Dance by breeding, but you can't breed things in a Nuzlocke. You can't. I don't know what else you would Baton Pass. You could even like substitute. I guess it'd be like like Iron Defense substitute, Double Team Baton Pass, and that can be really strong. So I'm gonna put it with Shedinja or with Ninjask as another Baton Pass Pokemon. Like that can be really strong. If your team. The Baton Pass strategy, like, you have to make sure your other 5 Pokemon all take care of whatever matchups you're going up against, like, really hard. But Baton Passing imagine Baton Passing Iron Defense, Double Team, and a substitute to a Pelipper, and then dropping it right in front of, like, Drake. Like, right in front of Drake. Like, what is he doing to you? You just completely shut down Drake. Things like that. Like that's the use for it. So it could be really strong for that. Aggron. It's so bad. So bad. It's useless against everything, and then like Norman, but then the phage attacks are hitting you for a lot of damage. And you're not hitting it hard, and like Winona's got a Pelipper that slaps you. And Flannery slapping you and the Earthquake on Winona. Dude, like, what do you use this against? Literally, what do you use it against? Besides Drake's things that don't have Flamethrower or Earthquake. There's 2 Pokemon. Aggron is good for Drake's Shelgon, Drake's Altaria. It can sponge Glalie Explosion. I am stretching to find a niche for it, dude. I think it's here. I'm stretching to find a niche for it. It's so bad. Its typing sucks so much for this region. So much. So much. Sorry all you Aggron fans. Its typing sucks, but Machamp, super awesome fighting type. Fighting types are so strong. It's gonna hit stupid hard. If you can trade evolution it, you can get it really early. And early Machamp is good things, because early very high attack stat and guts. It's like, I think it's still probably a little bit worse than Hariyama, but like Machamp's super good. If you got a little earlier, it'd be better. So yeah, you do just completely miss out on the Watson fight, which is where fighting type would be so good. And I feel like you're using these 2 over Machamp, but you could replace one of these 2 for Machamp. Like, just depending on nature. So it could be a replacement fighting type, but if you don't have it, like fighting types later are still really good. So I don't necessarily want to put it this. I think I'll put it here. I think I'll put it right next to Slacking. And Machoke is still a better fighting type than Blaziken because compared to Combusken, like you can like Guts, raise your attack, and have like a high attacking Pokemon there. But you still also miss out on the Watson fight just sucks because then like you're only useful for Norman and then you skip and then you come to Elite Four and you have like those 3 matchups. So it's like sections. So I'll put it here. I'll put it like right here. I think Machoke versus Blaziken is actually a debate because Blaziken's weak to half of Glacia's team, while Machoke wouldn't be, and like these are like you're debating these matchups, and you could like Guts boost and have your Machoke have higher attack than Blaziken. Slower, but not weak to things. So I think these two are debate for the fighting types. So it's like, yeah, these fighting types are all better. And if you can trade evolution, Machamp way better. But if it's still Machoke, it's still like good. It's still like pretty good. Maybe Ludicolo tier for like end game stuff. Like it's just got a couple matchups it's pretty good against. Yeah, I think I like this. I'll put it here, right between these two. Manectric, electric types are awesome. Ooh, okay. What do I do with electric types? Electric types are so useful. Right next to Sceptile, I think. But I think Sceptile's better than Manectric. But Manectric's still... Okay, I'll leave it there. Maybe. It might come down. Good electric type. You have it by Watson. It's a resist for Watson. That's kind of it. You're not really... Like, you can hope that you set up, like, Howls and Quick Attacks and, like... the AI won't go for Thunder Wave on you, as far as I know. I could be wrong for that. I can't remember if Thunder Wave does paralyze electric types in Gen 3 or not. I just for the resist and like setting up Howls and Quick Attacks can be like decent damage for the other non-Magneton electric types, but you're just more electric type end game, which is great for Winona and the water type trainers and like Glacia, and Thunder Wave is great. But I don't think you're the best electric type. Like I think these two are better than you. These two hit a little bit less hard than Manectric. You're most likely to get Minun because Plusle's a lower encounter rate, so you're mostly getting Minun. But these two have Baton Pass and Agility strats, which you can do. They also have Thunder Wave. They have Helping Hand strategies for Liz and Tate, which is actually Tate and Liza. I always call them Liz and Tate. It's Tate and Liza. I don't know why I get that. Tate and Liza. And even Maxie's like third fight when it's Maxie and Tabitha, I think. Other than that, you have like Thunderwave. Thunderbolt's still gonna hit just like a little bit less hard as Manectric, but like still very hard. You have Baton Pass. You have Encore too, which is super clutch. Such a good move. Yeah, they could be better. Like they could be better Pokemon, but they have such a good support moveset while also being like offensive electric type, which is cool. Like they're so useful. Dude, I might put them above Sceptile, honestly. I might do it like this. I think I will. Just Encore. Encore gives them the edge. Alright, this video is going long, and this is going to be a long video. Sorry. Magneton, easy S tier. This is like shaping up to be S tier in my mind right now. The highest tier. Super good. Not Pelipper. Better matchups for Swellow. Swellow's honestly kind of coming down for me just because there are some matchups that's just like not as good for. But it's just like it's like a good Pokemon. Swellow is like this tier, but like as like a good Pokemon, but better than these guys in the same tier as like Alakazam. Yeah. These two are here as just like neutral matchups, but stupid strong Pokemon you can have. Magneton being one of the few steel types, you can wall a lot of the Elite Four. All of the Elite Four, actually. And then you're hitting really hard with Thunder. You have to watch out for Earthquake spam, but you like don't really want to fight most things with Earthquake spam. Like the only thing that uses Earthquake that you would want to fight is Wallace's Gyarados. That's it. That's the only thing I think of. Everything else, like, yeah, everything else is pretty good. And you also you can use like Thunder and in the rain to hit Juan's double teaming Kingdra and just like hit it really hard. And then you also resist Ice Beam, so it like, has to go for Surf, but you don't exactly want to, you're not taking a Surf super well. So you have to be careful there, but it's such a good, it's the best Electric type by far, and Electric type is like a necessity in the end game, in like the later half of Emerald. So super, super good. Somewhere like here. Electrode is the worst Electric type in my opinion, but it's still Electric type. This is interesting. Where do I want to put it? Electric type as a type belongs up here, but it's by far the worst Electric type, and I think you're not guaranteed to have other Electric types, but it's a very high likelihood. So it's like a worst case scenario. You need an Electric type. Electrode will suffice. It's gonna hit it's like the weakest offensively. It's super fast, but like whatever. It's the weakest offensively. It has like no support moves. It has like the worst move pool. So it's the worst Electric type, but Electric type is still just so good that I'll put it here. Yeah, I'll put it here. Volbeat has some Dustox strategies, and that's actually really cool. It's also like the only good offensive bug type attack for a long time until some things get Mega Horn, like late game. You have Signal Beam pretty early. You have Tail Glow, but like a super bad. If you had Tail Glow in Baton Pass, that'd be super cool, but you don't, not by level up at least. I think I have to breed for it, so. But it does have some Dustox. It's like a baby Dustox, I think. It's like a little bit worse than Dustox, but it has like same Protect, Moonlight, or not Moonlight. Does it have Moonlight? I can't remember. Let me pull it up real quick, as fast as possible. Let me just pull this up. Volbeat, Moonlight, Confuse Ray. That's what it has. Does learn Protect by Norman, so you have Protect by Norman. You have Signal Beam at 25, which is actually really cool. You can learn it in the middle of Watson and have like one of the strongest neutral attacks against Watson, because like 75 base power, which is really, it's actually like good. It's actually pretty good against Watson. I'd probably put it at the top here. But this put it like here in this list. I think it's like on this tier though. But Signal Beam is a good attack. You have Protect, Toxic, and Confuse Ray for Norman. Completely like just stall him out as fast as possible while also resisting Fate attacks, which is cool. So you're like a decent switch in for that. You're not horrible for Tate and Liza, but everything is not weak to bug and is neutral to bug. And then, honestly, you're dumping on Sydney, except for the Absol's gonna aerial ace you or rock slide you and just obliterate you. But like, other than that, you're kind of dumping on all of Sydney's team, which is kind of funny. So not bad. Honestly, I'm putting you above Sableye. Yeah, Volbeat's not horrible, but not like good. It's not like good. This would be like a star Pokemon, like my B tier or less run of Emerald. Illumise is just a way worse version of Volbeat. Not even a way worse version. It's just way worse than Volbeat. It can get Encore if it levels up during the Watson fight, and it has Wish, and that's like all it has. But it doesn't have like Wish, Baton Pass or anything. It does have Moonlight, so you can like Moonlight, Wish, get Encore later, and then you can like charm things. I guess there's like a niche for it, but it's hard to find it. Honestly, it's kind of hard to find it. It's like a super stupid niche Pokemon. If it had Baton Pass, by level up, you have to breed for it, which sucks. If it could get by level up, it would actually be like at least here, but it doesn't, which sucks. Okay, this is going to be a really confusing placement, and I will explain it, but I'm just going to do this. Vileplume, don't. Bellossom, do. And Bellossom, next to Sceptile. Above Sceptile, actually. Ooh, maybe at the top. So, Gloom has Sleep Powder for Watson, which is one of the best strategies, which is actually a part of the best strategy to be Watson, which is like Sleep Powder, things that are scary, and then like for the Magneton, like Sleep Powder, and then bring in like a fighting type or like a Combuskin or something, that, or like even a Loudred with Flamethrower to kill that Magneton as fast as possible. And then you could also, you resist electric, and you can also put the Manectric to sleep as soon as possible and try to kill it as fast as you can before it wakes up. Do as much damage as you can before it wakes up. Super good for that. And then you have like sleep powder for like Norman. You could do sleep powder strategies for Norman. And then skip Flannery, skip Winona. And then Liz and Tate. Tate and Liza. I keep doing it. I keep doing that. Tate and Liza. This is where this influence comes in. So you can voluntarily get rid of your psychic and ground, your psychic weakness and your ground neutrality, and then resist ground, and go with Blossom, and be super good for Tate and Liza, and also Juan and Wallace, and even like Lacia, and have sleep powder shenanigans, because both have chlorophyll. Both have very similar stats. The stats are too similar. It's like a little bit more special attack on Gloom, but like who cares? Or you can just be dumb and decide to keep your psychic weakness and your ground neutrality and just be literally worse. So in all actuality, it's like this. Like Vileplume would be here, but there's nothing stopping you from evolving into Blossom. Like, even if you really want to get an earlier evolution, it doesn't matter. You get the Sunstone by the Tate and Liza anyways. It literally doesn't matter. Just run with Gloom until then, you're fine. So, if you intentionally pick Vileplume over Blossom, you're dumb. You are dumb. That is stupid. Don't do that. But Vileplume, for the sake of, like, things, would be on this tier. Would be here. So, it would be here with, like, these guys. It's like Electro. It's like the worst grass type you can pick, and it's almost like Tentacruel. It's like kind of this. It's like the worst of this, but it's still like a really good role to fill. But because you can literally choose to not do this, I'm putting it down here. That's why. You can just choose not to do that. Dodrio, very neutral Pokemon. It's very neutral. It's like fine for Winona. It's immune to Earthquake. It's like immune to Earthquakes, and it's a pretty strong Pokemon. That could honestly put it up here. Because, like, when you get it, it's just, like, a good Pokemon. Tri-Attack, Drill Run, or not, Drill Peck. Tri-Attack, Drill Peck. It's just such a good move combo. Like, it's such a good move combo. You're, like, not scared of a lot of things. You're hitting things neutrally. And you're fast, and you're hitting hard. It's just, like, good. It's just good. It's just a good Pokemon. I don't want to put it. I don't necessarily want to put it here, but I don't want to put it here. Maybe it is. Maybe there is another tier right here. You know what? I think I'll pull it down. I'll put it in B tier. What I have. This is kind of like B tier in my mind right now, but I'm gonna put it separate here just because it's something else. Like it's a different kind of role here, so I want to separate it, but I put it like here. It's like, it's literally right in between, like, this 2 and this 5 tier right here. It's right in between this. It's got its own tier. Swalot. Psychic types suck, but, dude, this thing is an amazing pivot. And it's Amnesia and, like, Rollout and Yawn and Encore. Such good supportive movesets early, and then it has so much coverage, and my chair keeps squeaking. If it wasn't weak to so many things, it would be amazing. Like, actually amazing. But because Poison type is just weak to so many things later on, it falls off so hard. But it's a really good early game support Pokemon. And I think I want to put it... I'm like bouncing between here. Like, it's really good support. Like Amnesia and Encore and even like Sludge or something. Like Sludge is like pretty good stab for a while. You have coverage. You have Yawn too to put things to sleep. Like you're another guaranteed sleep on Watson, because you have Yawn, which is actually even more accurate than Sleep Powder, but you're not resisting. So it's just like, it's so good. It's so good, and I don't know where to put it. It's not like, it doesn't really belong with these guys. It's like better than these guys, and I don't know if I want to put it here. So this could actually be another tier. This could be another tier somewhere in the middle of here. This could be like a Dodrio situation. I think I will do it because it's a different role. And it's not the only Pokemon that's going to be here. Because... this is going to be just like... bad. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to put Muck here too. You get Muck a little bit later, and it's like... I think it's... I still think it's around the same. Because like it's not... It would be nice to have Muck for Watson, but like it's still just like it's like a good neutral matchup for a lot of things. And then like things it's weak to, it sucks, so it falls off. But Muck is also just like a really good Pokemon. Like offensively, like it's got great bulk, great attack. You've got like acid armor, double team focus punch, sludge bomb. Like there's some good stuff you can do with it. So they'll be like here. I'll talk about Weezing later. Sharpedo, guaranteed encounter, super good for so many fights, dude. So many fights. Water and Dark is such good typing. It's guaranteed. Amazing for Winona, Tate and Liza. It's even like fine for Juan, dude. Just like resisting water and Ice Beam and stuff like that. And just hitting for like return off its really high attack stat, or like Earthquake off its really high attack stat is gonna do a lot of damage. And then it's great for Phoebe. Like even though its special attack is like 95 special attack is like still pretty good, especially if like for like an in-game run, like that's good. It's squishy, but it's also its squishiness is kind of made up for with rough skin. So like the things that hit you still like they pay for it. So you have to be careful using it. I don't know if I want to put it up here or here. I almost want to pull these guys in a separate tier too. Just to like separation things. Like I think I want to. This makes me feel better. Doing something like this makes me feel a little better. It's like that, yeah. Something like that. Wailord is another guaranteed water type. It's worse. So I'm actually doing opportunity cost for this list as well. Like you have Sharpedo, you don't necessarily need Wailord. Like there's other water types you'll have, so I think it's a little bit worse, but it's still really good. I don't know if I want it to stay here or come down to here. I don't know. Bulky, the water spout can hit really hard, but you don't get water spout for a while. So it's like a worse water type, but it's also a worse offensive water type than Sharpedo, and it's like a worse defensive water type than like a Melodic would be, but it's like a mix of the two, which is really interesting. Water Spout 44. It's not even that late, actually. Wow, Water Spout 44. You have like Resto Chesto Berry, which is a good idea. It learns Rollout, Ice Beam. Ooh, that's kind of good, dude. Oh, it's got some stuff. It's like a good water type. I don't think it's as good as Sharpedo. I want to pull it down away from Sharpedo. Do I put it here? That feels wrong. That doesn't feel right at all. And it's a different thing. Here comes another tier. This is how this list goes. Here comes another tier. And it's going to be above Dodrio. Here? Yeah, because I put these guys above it. I put it like above Golem and stuff, so this is going to be it. 2.5, and this is 2.7. That's what I'm doing for this. That's what Wailord is. Camera fire types are not good. In Emerald. Earthquake spam, all the waters and stuff. It's like there's not much you're doing. Newell's good for Flannery, and that's kind of it. I think it's down here. There's not a lot of time to use it. There's just not a lot of good times to use it. Magcargo, same thing. Torkoal is at least not quad weak to water, and it's like got really good defense for it, so it's like pretty good for Normans. So I think I'd pull it up as like the best, and it can have good abilities. It's defense just pulls it up so hard, and it even gets amnesia and iron defense later on, so you can like make this thing a stupid strong wall. If only it had if only shell armor wasn't its hidden ability, that would be so good. Because then you guarantee like no crits on you, and you're just a crazy wall. Yeah, 140 defense is just something else. It comes up to here. Its typing is not good, but it's got some stuff. Like it's the only fire type I would say it's like good. Maybe Ninetales later. But it's good for Norman. Even like most of Winona. Outside of the Altaria. Maybe then it can like take an Altaria attack and like do something. Like Will-O-Wisp, or I guess you're not Will-O-Wisping, but like I don't know. Toxic it. Set up iron defenses. I'm not like there's things you can do with it. It's hard to justify it, but there's things you can do with it because its defense is so high. It's also not bad for Glacia, just like soaking up the Glalie explosion, but there's no other reason to take it against the Elite Four, so it's kind of rough. Wheezing, poison type, but it's immune to ground, which is super cool. Wheezing's really good. Wheezing's a really good Pokemon. I think I will pull a Dodrio tier. That feels good to me. Super high defense. It's weak to Psychic, so it's like not good for Tate and Liza, but like it's neutral to everything else and immune to ground. You can do like Rain Dance Thunder. It's got amazing coverage. You can have fire coverage for you, poison stab, electric coverage for you. It can be an explosion Pokemon if your team's just not ready for something. It's like a last ditch effort, but Weezing's just a good Pokemon. It's just a good Pokemon. It can learn Shadow Ball for some things, so it's not even like a bad option for like Phoebe. You just like take it. So like electric, ghost, fire, poison coverage is all really cool. It can set up weather. It could be like on a rain team and like set up Rain Dance and use Thunder, or set up Sunny Day for things and like have fire coverage. So you can like build around it. It's really flexible with things like that. Can learn roll out. So it could roll out Sweep Flaneria, which is hilarious. There's just a lot I can do. It's just a good Pokemon. Like, this is just literally a really good Pokemon. 90 attack, 85 special attack. That's like not bad at all. Yeah, it's a good Pokemon. I'd put it probably above Dodrio, just because it comes a little earlier. Grumpig, Thick Fat is super cool. It's like a neutral Pokemon. It's like pretty good for some things. I don't know if I want to put it here or here, maybe. Maybe here. Grumpig it's like good. It's decent. It's like the overall, it's like the perfect example of decent. It does evolve right for Norman, but like you wouldn't want it for Norman. Great special tank. Confuse Ray is cool. Psychic level 37 is great. I don't know what you're doing with it besides like setting up Calm Mind, and has Thick Fat for Glacia, which is like cool. Thick Fat just gives it something. I think Thick Fat gives it a niche, so I'll put it like here. Otherwise, it'd probably be like here with Torkoal, honestly. Just like a niche, like okay Pokemon. But I think Thick Fat gives it like decent stuff against later Pokemon. Like you can really wall out some things. And be like a pretty good Pokemon. You're pretty good. I like this. Probably like at the bottom of here. Just because these guys are better Pokemon, but you don't have the weaknesses they do. Sandslash, ground type is okay. I think it's there. Its moveset sucks. The ground typing is just like, it's just okay. That's all it is. I can't remember. Does it have Sand Rush, a Gen 3? I doubt it. Sand Veil. Yeah, it has Sand Veil. So you can do like very cheap. No. You're using it for maybe Norman. And it's great for Steven, but Steven's not. Yeah, it's a tier. Ground typing is not that good in this generation. Or in this region. Like Kanto, way better. Hoenn, way worse. Spinda. Somewhere between here. It's a status bot, and that's all it really does. It can like Dizzy Punch and get confusion, and like that's kind of all it does. It's like it. Skarmory, easy S tier. Easily one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. Like so, one of the best walls. Roar, Spikes, Toxic, Steel Wing, or Fly. Really good moveset, honestly, for it. Like super good stuff you can do with it. Flygon is here. Has such a late evolution, so you're relying on Trapinch and Vibrava for a lot of the early stuff, and you're not using a Flygon until 1, which you wouldn't really want to use. You wouldn't want to use it for at all. And then for the Elite Four, it's not a great pick. But Vibrava and Trapinch aren't horrible. They're like pretty okay. Having Vibra as a dragon type pretty early on is like pretty cool. Be good for some things like it's actually really good for like Maxi, which is not one of the hardest fights. I'll admit. It's kind of rough. I think here is okay. It's still still a good Pokemon. I think it's probably better than these guys by a little bit. I think this feels pretty good. This is kind of like the better than this Pokemon, but like not very good because of some factor. That's kind of what this little tier is here. Cacturne is Shiftry, but so much worse. So much worse than Shiftry. But still a grass and dark type, so like it's got an interesting niche. This feels okay to me. It's like here in the thing of like niche, but its typing is just so good that it's like better than all these other Pokemon that I think it's like here. It feels weird to put it with Ludicolo though. Because Ludicolo is so good endgame. Ludicolo almost deserves his own tier. I might do this. Ludicolo almost deserves his own tier. Almost deserves his own tier. Altaria, you can do some Dragon Dance stuff with it. I think it's a good Pokemon. I think it like here it's one of these two. Maybe this. I don't think it's quite as good of a Pokemon as like these guys, but it's like here. You can do your own Dragon Dance stuff with like Dragon Dance, Steel Wing, Aerial Ace, Earthquake, or something that could be a moveset. You're like okay matchups for everything, but Dragon Dance Sweep is something you can set up and be pretty good. So it's a good Pokemon. Put it like there. It's a Viper doo-doo. Too slow, too frail. It's like Exploud with worse typing, so it's here. Solrock is tight. Super cool. But it's still like somewhere down here. It's great for Norman. Great. Poops on Flannery. Great for Norman. Great for Winona. Because it has Levitate. Like, great for Winona. You watch out for the Tropius. Watch out for the Pelipper. But you'll probably be okay there. And then, like, it's great to take against... It's great to take your own Solrock against Liz and Tate. Tate and Liza. Tate and Liza. Not Liz and Tate. Tate and Liza. But it's pretty good there, because you're just like, you're immune to ground, you're resisting rock. Or no. I actually don't think you don't resist rock. Like the Cleodol's Ancient Power. But you're immune to ground, you're resisting all the psychics, and you resist Solrock's, like, flamethrower. You hit the Xatu. I don't know exactly what you're doing in response there, but you do, like, wall it pretty well. And then it's actually good for Glacia's, like, Glalie. For her Glalies, and then some of Drake's Pokemon, it's actually not a bad Pokemon for. So there's some stuff here. I'd probably put it here. I like this. I like this tier for it. It's a really fun Pokemon to use, too. It's, like, really cool. It's one of my favorites, actually. Like, underrated Pokemon. I can also offer some fire coverage, which could just be, like, nice. Wishcash is a baby Swampert, but comes later, so it's not, like, nearly as useful, but it's still a water ground type, and water ground types have such a good time because there's barely any grass types you fight, like, at all. So it's here, I want to say. Tate and Liza, great. Winona, it's an Ice Beamer for Winona. Ice Beamer for Winona, Ice Beamer for Drake. Great for Tate and Liza. Fine for Glacia. Fine for, like, everything else. It's like, yeah, I think it's like here, B tier. It's like, it's good. It's a good Pokemon. I think I want to shift things like here. I put it like here or so. I think you can guarantee a Barboach too, which is really cool. Crawdon is a worse Sharpedo by a lot. Where do I have the worst versions of a Pokemon? You're worse Sharpedo, but you're also not even a water type because your special attack it's okay, but you're slow and not super bulky. You're like more of a Swords Dance neutral attacker, which is cool. B tier seems okay for you. Or here. I think here. There's just no real reason to use it over Sharpedo. That's kind of it. It's just like there's no real reason to use it over Sharpedo or like other water types. Like, you can Swords Dance set up, which is, like, cool. Like, setting up Swords Dance on it is, like, good for, like, honestly, like, Wallace and, Juan. Like, Swords Dance and then, like, water-type moves. Or normal-type moves is, like, it's fine. Swords Dance carries it. I think this is fine. Put, like, here. Claydol, ground types are not good. It's, like, it can, at least it can use Ice Beam, I guess. So, like, it has a niche. I'll put it here with, like, the niche tier. It's a ground type that can use Ice Beam, so it's, like, okay for Drake. But what else are you using? It loses to everything else in the end game. It's, like, okay for Tate and Liza. Okay, it's something that can use Ice Beam for Winona, so niche there. It's okay for Tate and Liza. It's okay, niche there, and it's a niche for Drake. Like, 3 things, but then it loses to everything else, so I don't think its niche is very good. So it's, like, here. It's, like, barely out of this tier. Cradilly, this Pokemon sucks. Bad moves. Bad moves. Grass type, but not resisting water. Bad moves. It's like a niche tier Pokemon. Well, Armaldo's good. I think Armaldo's here. It's good, but it's weak to a lot of things. It's weak to a lot of the water types. If you had Megahorn or something, dude, it'd be so much better. If you got Megahorn or X-Scissor, so much better. But you're running Fury Cutter. So you can, like, Fury Cutter sweep Sydney, but, like, that's it. It's, like, it. But you're a good Pokemon. You're fine for Drake. And it's, like fine. It's, like, good for some of Glacia stuff. It's, like, good for Sydney, good for Drake. It's, like, a good Elite Four Pokemon, which just puts it up high. It's not bad for Elite Four at all. I think I will put it, like, here. Also, Anorith has Protect Toxic for Norman. Okay, so let's dial back. So Norman, great. Winona, good. I'll say good. It's actually not even weak to Earthquake, so, like, good. Tate and Liza, it's okay. Not really anything special, not for one. And then Sydney, good. Phoebe, fine. Glacial, half her team, good. Drake, pretty good. Wallace, not very good. So, hey, I like here. Maybe even higher. It's got some good matchups. It's got some good matchups. It's got some good matchups. I'll put it, like, here. That feels good. That feels good. Wigglytuff. Explode, but comes later. And that's all it is. Milotic. Super good Pokemon. Super good wall. Bulky waters are just good. You can just, like, stall out all the other water types, like Recover, Toxic, Surf, Ice Beam. It's so bulky. It's so annoying to get, but I'm pretty sure you can. I think you can guarantee a Feebas too, so you can guarantee one. Super. It's the best bulky water type. That's not like these two. Yeah, super good Pokemon. Really, really good wall. Cast Form is a niche. It's like Exploud and Wigglytuff, but it can have Stab on its coverage. Yeah. That's what it does. It can also be a Fire type with Ice Beam, which is cool. I don't know what you really do with that, but it's cool. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird Pokemon. Starmie is really good. Really good, I think, up here with these other bulky water types. You can have it, you can catch one by Winona, and it could be a premier fast Ice Beamer for Winona. It can also have electric coverage, which by Pelipper, water types with electric coverage, super awesome. Being Psychic type isn't awesome for Sydney and Phoebe, but those two are not big deals. You're also really good for Tate and Liza. Winona, Tate and Liza, Juan. Like, you skip Phoebe and Sydney, and you're great for Glacia too. Great for Drake and great for Wallace. Amazing water type. I think it's above Sharpedo. I think it's above Sharpedo. In terms of just, like, hitting so many things super effective. It's great. Absolutely great Pokemon. It could maybe be up here. Maybe. It is a really good encounter, huh? And it's guaranteed, I think. I think, like, most of the water type Pokemon, like, half the water type Pokemon are all, like, guaranteed. Is it this tier? A water type with electric coverage is so good. So good. Why does it have electric coverage? Why? Why does Starmie get electric coverage? Like, you can do, like, Rain Dance, Surf. You don't even need Psychic on it. Like, screw Psychic. Rain Dance, Surf, Ice Beam, Thunder. Such a good moveset for it. Yeah, like, why can't it learn Thunderbolt Thunder? It's so, why? Why? Also, having Confuse Ray and Recover, yeah, it's here. It's here. It's, like, a little bit worse than Pelipper. Just because Pelipper's sooner. Starmie, crazy. Kecleon is awesome. Kecleon is a super awesome. I think here with all these other Pokemon, it's so bulky. This special defense is huge. It's got really good attack, too. You can absolutely guarantee it. You can literally pick it as your encounter for that route. That would be a guaranteed encounter. I wish you could battle the one in Twin Leaf Town, I think it is. Is it? No, not Twin Leaf Town. In Fort Tree City. I wish you could battle the one that's in front of the gym and catch that, have your counter be in Fort Tree City, and then also go that route and get either Tropius or an Absol. That'd be so cool. But you basically pick Kecleon or you pick Absol or Tropius. Which actually, like, all of them are really good encounters. That route is really good for you. But Kecleon, you get hit by a type, and then you can be immune or resist the type, or so it's like it's really good wall for Wallace and stuff. Get hit by a water type attack, and then you're resisting all the other water types, and then you just like hit neutrally. So it's cool. It's really cool. It's really useful. I like it a lot. Yeah, I think it fills a niche. It can fit on any team. If you just need it, it's like a fill-in defensive Pokemon. It's good. It is good. Not the best move pool, but not bad either. You have like Slash and Shadow Ball, and that's like fine. It's like all you need. And like Air Lace. Banette, good. It's good Ghost. Ghost types are good. They're good. They're not great. They're good. You listen to Tate and Liza, Phoebe. That's kind of it. You're like almost filling a niche, so I want to put you here. I think I should put you here, because even taking a dark type that you're guaranteed to have is better than taking a ghost type for Phoebe. So it could be better. The ghost types get a little bit rough. Dusclops I will put up higher though. I'm gonna put up here just because its wall capability, its defensive capabilities are crazy. It's just it's an iron wall. I don't think it doesn't have the best moveset, but like I'm thinking it's like a Pokemon that doesn't need the best moveset. Like Shadow Punch, Will-O-Wisp. It's one of your few Will-O-Whispers, which can be huge. Confuse Ray, Will-O-Wisp. Both really good. You even have Curse if you really want to. You have Sable. You could do full on Whittle Down with Confuse Ray, Will-O-Wisp, Curse, and then Resto Berry that shit. Chesto Berry that shit. Awesome. Actually, it's a very good wall. It could maybe here. Maybe here. Let me see. Yeah, here. I feel like it's good here. It's a great wall. It's a great wall. Tropius is it's Blossom, but worse. But also the flying typing is so cool. So I'm gonna put it with Wailord. I'm putting this like 2.7. Like it's like worse than these guys up here, but it's like it's a good roll. It's a great Chlorophyll sweeper. Chlorophyll, like Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Synthesis, or Giga Drain. It can have Earthquake, which is cool coverage. Air Lace, which is cool coverage. Like it's good. It's a good Pokemon. It could hit harder, but it's got some good bulk to it too. Just like watch out for the Ice Beams. But I mean, no grass type wants to get hit by an Ice Beam, so like whatever. You're already I gotta watch out for them anyways. I don't think the quad weakness I'm gonna put it against it. Chimecho, why would I want a Psychic type this late? That is like not good. It's like a niche. I think it's like niche here. It's not dog doo-doo here. Cradilla. I feel like some of these Pokemon should come down. Because I'm looking at like Seaking needs to be at top of this list here. Illumise actually needs to be top here. There we go. I'm like looking at like these two. Claydol could come down maybe. Sure. All that looks good. Absol, Dark type, 120 or 130 attack. Even though Dark type is special, like you have Swords Dance, you can Baton pass your Swords Dance too, and Shadow Ball. It's like the only attacking type. The only move you need is Shadow Ball, and you're gonna do like Strength or Slash for the dark types that you have to fight. It's a really good Pokemon. It's really good. It's not super fast, but it's not too slow either. And like a lot of Emerald Endgame is slow. Like Phoebe's Pokemon are all slow, so you're gonna do just fine. Setting up Swords Dance and Shadow Balling all of Phoebe, like you're gonna be fine. Completely sweep through that, and then you're just like Swords Dance Baton Pass to something for Glacier. Like you can Swords Dance Baton Pass. Set up on like okay, so for Glacia, you have your fighting type of anything. I don't know, any fighting type. Let's say you have Machoke. Let's say you have Machoke for Glacia, and for Sydney too. Same thing for Sydney. You lead Absol. You set up Baton Pass, or you set up Swords Dance, maybe 1 or 2. You could even throw on Substitute here if you want to, and then you Baton Pass to Machoke, and Machoke now has +2 plus like super high attack. You're blowing through Sydney, you're blowing through Glacia, you're blowing through things. Imagine you have a Breloom. Imagine you just Swords Dancing, Baton Passing that to a Breloom, whose Mach Punch priority is just shredding through things. Like that is ooh. Wait, does it get Baton Pass? Hold up. I think everything I just said is invalid because it only gets Baton Pass through breeding. Hold on. I think I might have just. Yeah, it's okay. Ignore everything I just said there for Baton Pass. But I mean, just Swords Dance setting up for itself is so good. It's so good. Like it's good. And Dark typing it is really clutch. It's really good for that time in the game. I think behind Sharpie here. It feels good. My loaded could even be higher. Ninetales, it's like fast Will-O-Wisp, Confuse Ray. That's kind of like all it would be at this point. But the fire typing is not helpful for you like at all. Raichu is better than Electrode. I put it here. It's better than Electrode because it's like Electric type with coverage and hits harder, still fast. It's like a little bit worse than Manectric, I think. But the electric type is so good. I just think Electrode is such a worse electric type than these other ones. You could like have if you get like Raichu later, like Raichu could replace these other electric types as your electric type if you wanted to. While Electrode, there's no reason it would replace any electric type. Like it's the electric type that gets replaced by a Raichu. Golduck, it's gonna go here. Swift Swim is great. It's a bulky water type. It's like it's kind of bulky water type, kind of offensive, like Warlord. Really cool coverage. I like it a lot. It could be better. Like I think there's other water types that just like outdo it, like Pelipper, and it's not like Pelipper Starmie tier. It's not like Milotic or Sharpedo tier because it doesn't have like the dark typing or anything to it. So that's what like this tier is. Like it's a little bit worse than these guys, but good overall. Good. Wobuffet is the weirdest Pokemon to place ever to me. It can like 1v1 anything, but that's like all it does. It like 1v1's one single thing. But there are some fights. Let's come to here. Juan, that Kingdra, you could just 1v1 that Kingdra. And that could be cool. Same with like Drake's Salamence or Glacia's Walrein with Sheer Cold. Actually, no, you won't want to use Wobuffet because this thing's just gonna Sheer Cold you and kill you. Like I don't know, like Juan's Kingdra is the best example I can think of. It's like good for that. I don't know where to put it. Here or this. Wobuffet's its own tier. It's its own tier. I'll put it with these guys. That feels right. Just like putting. I don't know why this feels right, but it does. Wow, it's such a weird Pokemon, dude. It's such a weird. It's so hard to train unless you're using rare candies. Like I do, so it's fine. But why this Pokemon? Why do I have to rank this Pokemon? I don't know. I never use it. I just don't use it. I don't think it's fun to use. How do you... I'm trying to spell Wobuffet. I'm like looking up its things real quick. I want to look this up before I de facto. It evolves at 15. So you actually have it for Flanary even. And it can... I don't think it's 1v1ing Norman's slacking. I think that feint attack is going to drop it. Ooh, maybe? Maybe it does? What does it do? Why? Destiny Bond, Safeguard, Mirror Coat, Counter. It's a guaranteed encounter, and it can 1v1 things that your team is now ready for. I'm going to put it here. That feels good. That feels good. I'm going to put it there and I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Zatu. Kind of like Chemeko. I don't really know why you want to Psychic type at this point. Giraffe Rig. Kind of like these two. I don't really know why you want to Psychic type at this point. But it is immune to ghosts. That's kind of cool, so I'll put it here. Dawn Fan. Ground types are not good. It's like slightly better. Sand Slash, but like why? Pincer. Even though it does not get any stab bug type moves, it could be like a fill-in fighting type, kind of, because it still resists. And has Sword Dance Sweep. You even have a Guillotine Cheese if you're like insist. If you insist. But it learns like Brick Break and Submission by level up, which is just so cool. Even like Revenge. It's like a fighting type. It's like a fill-in fighting type. Which is hilarious to me. It's good. It's a good Pokemon. Here, because there's like, it's like a fill-in fighting type, but not stab fighting type. Then there's Heracross, who is a stab fighting type and is like here. I think Heracross easily goes next to Machamp, maybe higher. Heracross is just so good. It does get Mega Horn too, which is crazy. You could just Mega Horn blow through some things. Guts boosted Mega Horn. Oh, Guts boosted Mega Horn. I feel like I got it here or here. I don't know. It could bounce. It hit Guts boosted Mega Horn. It's gonna go with here. It's gonna go up here. Amazing fighting type. It's like it can replace other fighting types too. At that point, you're quad resisting Sydney. You're not weak to anything for Glacia. You're also fast, which is good. Very, very good. You're also resisting some earthquakes, so you're just like good for some things. Guts boosted Mega Horn. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up here. It's really strong Pokemon. Right on. Ground type, Spoo. Glalie, Ice type. Stab Ice Beam is a niche. Stab Ice Beam's a niche for Drake. And I guess Tate and Liza's team is fine, and then it has like Crunch for Phoebe, I guess. There's stuff there, yeah. Walrein. I don't know if I want to put it here or if I want to put it here. It's a bulky water type. This is why I have these tiers, because I know I want to separate them. Like I want to make sure that Wailord and Milotic are in different tiers, because there's a difference here, but they're also like the strength is still here. And Walrein, Stab Ice Beam, but the weaknesses that come from it. But who cares? Like what do you worry about? What are the weaknesses you have? You're weak to Rock, so Salamence's Rock side is gonna hit you really hard, but I think you'll live it, and your Ice Beam will just completely kill it. You do just completely wall out Kingdra. I think I'm putting you there. I think I'm gonna put you there. You completely wall out Juan's Kingdra. Like that thing does nothing to you. You have to like stall it out or something. And the double teams are gonna get annoying. But you could even do like, you could Hail Blizzard. You could Hail Blizzard that thing, because you get Hail 31. You get Blizzard at 50, but don't you get the TM for Blizzard earlier? Lilycove, yeah. So you can Hail Blizzard the Kingdra. That's actually a really good strategy. Yeah, definitely here. Definitely here. Maybe even above my Milotic. Maybe above my Milotic. No. Right next to my Milotic. Really good Pokemon. Clamperl is here, but even lower. There's some stuff it can do. I almost need another tier that's like this. It's like worse than these other water types. Of just like the fill-in. The rest of the water types that are like not that good could be their own tier. And I think they will be. No, they're gonna go here. They're gonna go in this tier. Clamperl, you can have Deep Sea Scale or Deep Sea Tooth and do some shenanigans with that. Not a great move pool, but like it can be really bulky. Or have a huge special attack, or it can just be like super bulky. And it's cool. So even if you don't evolve it. And then Huntail and Gorbis are like decent Swift Swim Pokemon. I think Gorbis is a better Swift Swim Pokemon. Maybe on the tier of Golduck? No, I think Golduck's still a better Swift Swim Pokemon than these two. And the only reason... Maybe I want to put Ludicolo here, but Lombre, when you get it early, is just so bad that it has to be down here. And I do still rank off of when you get it. Because, like, when you get Golduck, it's good. Like, when you get Ludicolo, it's bad. Or when you get Lombre and Lotad, it's bad. But when you get Ludicolo, it's really good. So, it's a really weird one. It's one of the weird nuances of how I rank things. And I could pull Ludicolo up. I really could. I could do it. It's like, okay, Ludicolo is like a Vileplume situation. It's like, realistically, Vileplume is here, but I'm going to pull it down here. And then, realistically, Ludicolo is like here, but I'm going to pull it down here because of, factors. Relicanth, you are not resisting water. I don't know what you're really doing with Relicanth. Except for, like, using against Drake, I guess, with the Earthquakes that he has on Flygon. I don't know what you're doing with Relicanth. I really don't know why. I don't know why to use Relicanth. That's the thing. It's like I don't know why. Swift Swim is awesome. 130 defense is awesome. It's not even like something using Ice Beam because it's a physical attacker. It's like Swift Swim Ancient Power for Glacia. It does dump on Glacia. That is a good thing. That is a really good fact. It is amazing for Glacia. And even just Swift Swim Ancient Power is really good for like Altaria and Salamence, and it is pretty good for Kingdra. It's not taking a surf very well. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I think I might pull it. The Glacia matchup pulls it up. The Glacia matchup pulls it up for sure. It's gonna go like here, just for Glacia. Just for Glacia, right here. Corsola does not have quite the amazing matchup for Glacia. Not nearly at all, because the stats are just poopy. Poopy doo-doo. Does it have ability? No. Why? Corsola's so much worse than Relicanth. It does have the Glacia matchup, I guess, but like, what are you doing? You're like rollouting, I guess. You have to have delayed rollout this far for this. That's like the only way you can use Corsola for Glacia. Lantern, amazing electric type. Amazing electric type. Amazing electric type. Water type. Moveset. Okay. Lantern, moveset. This is one Pokemon I have to show on Showdown. Let me come Showdown here. I have to show off Lantern because this is like why it's good. Gen 3 Ubers, sure. Lantern. So things you can do with Lantern. I can have Volt Absorb, whatever. Ability doesn't matter at this point. 50 is your ultimate level cap. You can do Rain Dance, Thunder with like Surf and like do like a powerful like Rain attacker and then Ice Beam. This HP really gives a good bulk. Like, not very bulky on the special side. Its special attack is not very good, so I don't think this all-out attacker is the best set. My favorite set is this. It's Confuse Ray, Thunder Wave, Dive, to be the one Pokemon using Dive. You give the King's Rock, which you can grab in Emerald. And so you get the flinch chance on Dive. And then his last move can be Thunder. Thunder for like the Kingdra, like Juan's Kingdra, which will set up Juan's team will try to set up Rain Dance, and then you can Thunder and never miss the Kingdra. And you can like Thunder Wave, stall it out, and then it rests, and then when it wakes up, you just like Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray, stall it out some more. Do all of this on Glacia's team. All this is good for Drake's team, except for the ones that have Earthquake, which is just the Flygon and just the Flygon. And it's good for Wallace's team. It's like a really good defensive Pokemon for all of this stuff. Like, it's just like This is my favorite set. It's so cheeky. It's so cheeky. You could even get rid of Thunderwave if you insisted, and just like hope that you could do like Rain Dance here to make your dives hit harder, and like Thunder always hit, and you could just go for the paralysis chance on Thunder. Like there's super cool Pokemon, dude. It's so cool. It's so cool. It is good. It is such a. It's electric type that resists water, and there's so much water at the end, so it's like gotta be one of the best electric types. It's super good. Super good. Love Disc is so bad, dude. So bad. Awful. Seadra is a bulky water type on the physical side, which is a cool niche. It's pretty good for the dragons. For Drake's dragons. You can get agility and like make it so faster. This is if you can't trade into a Kingdra, because things change so much if you can trade into a Kingdra. Poison Point is whatever. And it doesn't have Sniper, so it's going to have Poison Point, which is like whatever. It's not the most impressive water type ever. I think it's like here. Like I think it's not weak to it's not weak to like Earthquake and stuff, so it's like a good bulky water type, like on the same tier as like Tentacruel, I would say. Put all the water types here together. It's like a Huntail without Swift Swim, which is still pretty good. And it's got a good special attack stat. It's like 95, 85 speed too, like low special defense, but it's okay. It's like a decent bulky water type, which is not bad for the end game at all. That's kind of it. It's also like the physical bulk is good to. It could be something to. Glacia's Glalie could explode on it, and it could probably tank it pretty well, just because it's got some good bulk. And then Kingdra, oh my god, Kingdra. Swift Swim, Sweeper. It's probably the least ban-worthy Pokemon that I would ban. Screw it. You don't have to ban Kingdra. But it's definitely here. It is definitely here. It's just such a crazy Pokemon. It's a Dragon type. It's only weak to Dragon. And you can Swift Swim, Ice Beam, and just completely obliterate Drake's team. Which is the only, like, Dragon types you're scared of. It's not amazing for Glacia, but, like, it's just like... You set up Rain Dance and you Swift Swim, sweep through everything. Like, Surf, Rain-boosted Surfs, and Ice Beam, and then you have, like, Rain Dance, or even Agility if you don't want to do a Rain team. And then for its last move, you could give it, like, Body Slam or Return or something to hit water types. So you can, like, still use it for Wallace and just, like, wall out a lot of things on Wallace's team and just be, like, a super fast Pokemon in the rain that he wants to set up with his Wailord and just, like, hit things hard. And be good. You're a good Pokemon. You're goddamn Kingdra. You're so strong. Salamence. I would ban it. It's so hard. You could consider keeping it, but I would definitely put it here as like probably the best Pokemon. I would honestly probably ban it, to be honest. I think I usually do. I never really use it. I always go for my encounter. My Meteor Falls encounter, I always go for like a Solrock just because I like Solrock. Or yeah, I usually go for Solrock, or even getting Crobat earlier. So like, but if you are delaying for Salamence, it's so good. Intimidate, all of this stuff. Don't use it against Glacia. It's not even like the best against Wallace, just because he does have Ice Beam on Milotic and Tentacruel, and he has Blizzard on Wailord, which is like scary. But the rest is not really touching you at all. And when I say not really touching you at all, they're not touching you at all. Even Gyarados with like Intimidate, you can just like Dragon Claw, which is special, and just go through. You're gonna outdo everything on Drake's team except for Salamence, and you have an Ice Beamer for that. So you're blowing up Phoebe, you're blowing up Sydney. You're just crazy. You're like this. You're like this group of Pokemon. Like, these guys are here for the typing and stuff. These guys are here because they're just so crazy strong, stupid, dumb stuff. I could even separate these tiers. I could do, like it's S tier, but, like, for different reasons. So I will. I will just to keep these, like... This is the same tier. It's going to be 1 as well. 1.1. Same tier. I can't have Salamence be lower than these guys, though. I can't have Salamence be lower than these guys. It'd be like this. like this. I don't know. I'll just leave him. I'll just leave him because the Skarmory would be here too. I'm just gonna leave them all in this tier. Actually, Heracross, you're there. Flying types, dragon types, nah. Cool. Let's get rid of that. And the Regis. If you have the Relicanth and the Wailord and all the stuff to get the Regis, I think they're on the table for you. Registeel, broken. It's a steel type. Regice is good. I don't know how good. It's good. It's probably there. Stop Ice Beam for Drake, Glacia. It's walling out Wallace. It's good. It's definitely up here. Not quite here, but here. This is a good spot for it. And then Regirock, the rock type is what are you using a rock type for, except for maybe Drake? Maybe. So it's like here. Sure. Yeah, sure. And that's gonna do it. That's everyone. And Rayquaza is illegal. Okay, now the final part of the video. I know this is long. My voice is tired. This is gonna stay bad. This is gonna stay the bad tier. Don't do it. This is going to be the don't do it tier. Delcatty's the best Pokemon here. Vileplume. Actually, Vileplume's the best. No, Vileplume's the worst Pokemon here because you have the choice to not do Vileplume. Delcatty's the best thing here because, I don't know, I guess. Because you're going to get early at least. But Skitty early is so bad. This is so bad. Delcatty at least offers coverage. It can get Sing, and you can like Calm Mind set up for like your Shockwave, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Water Pulse. Delcatty is an HM Pokemon. That's all you use it for. Okay. So this is the SS Band tier. This is going to be S tier to me. All these Pokemon are like some of the best encounters you get in the game. I think Hariyama moves up, Brella moves up, Pelipper does move up, Starmie moves up, Magneton's been here before. I think Heracross moved up. Swellow's been here. I thought about moving Swellow down, but it's just too good. It's too strong. The only other place it would go would be here, but I think it's just better than these Pokemon. Like, absolutely better than those guys. So it comes like here. Salamence is broken. It's usually banned. Salamence and Kingdra are the ones that bounce between being banned. I'll throw them up here. These are ones I'd say that bounce between being banned. Out of the most out of here, just cause. But you don't necessarily have to. Alakazam. You can trade evolution. Level 16 Alakazam is crazy. Easy S tier. This to me is A. I'm gonna call it A plus. And this will be A minus because this is also A tier Pokemon. So the A plus, these Pokemon are here because their types are really good and they're also just like good Pokemon. These Pokemon are here. They have mostly neutral matchups. Machamp's type is good, so maybe it does come up here. Yeah, I think Machamp's type is really good. It's definitely a worse fighting type just because these two come earlier and I think are probably better than Machamp at this point. And then you also have Heracross later, which will outdo it. So I put it like here. And then these like neutral Pokemon, but they're just good. They're just good. Like Kadabra's gonna hit so hard for so long. All this stuff. They're just gonna hit so hard for so long. And then this I will call. I'm gonna call this B plus. I think they're definitely under the A tiers. But they're good. These are good Pokemon. This is B. This is B plus. This is B. So here's I'm gonna have a ton of B tiers right here. You're B. This is gonna be B. All of these guys are B. I can't call them anything less. I don't want to call them C tier necessarily. But maybe I will. Just so I don't have 1,000 Bs. I'll do this. B minus. So B plus, B tier, B minus. This will be C, but these are good Pokemon. Do not take C. Like, C is simply just because I don't want to have 4 B tiers. This will be... This will be C plus. This will be C minus. This will be C, and this will be C minus. Just, I think the gap between these are all around there. This would be D plus, and this would be D tier. And let's go ahead and give them all different colors. We got orange, red, orange. Let's do this yellow, where that kind of orange is yellow. B plus is that. B tier is going to be that green. And then B minus is going to be that green. C tier is going to be all the blues. Let's color coordinate this thing at the end. Boom. And then the D is going to be purple. And we use all the colors perfectly. And then don't do it is going to be gray. Don't do it. Okay. Recap. Ludicolo probably deserves to be here, but because of Lombre being so trash for so long, I pull it here. Vileplume deserves to be, like, here. But because you have the choice of not being weak to Psychic and Ground Immunity, because you have the choice to go to Blossom, you should not do Vileplume, so it's here. So don't do it. These Pokemon, these three suck. These guys are all a niche, and that's, yeah, a niche. These guys are, or just like bad typing, stuff like that. Put like the early game niche Pokemon here, and then like bad typing. That's all that. These guys are niches that are slightly better. Put my Baton Pass niche Pokemon here. We've got the normal types. We got Azumarill, I think is on its own. Sableye for being a ghost type. Banette later ghost type. You have the normal types with coverage. Volbeat's actually probably the top here. Like that. Yeah, it feels good. Your fire types are okay. I'll do that. Sure. These guys, I just wanted to put them separate. Poison type's not very good, but they're good Pokemon. You've got some niche there, but more of a niche than like these Pokemon here, and Flygon, kind of same thing. These guys have got good backup typings. That's all I'll say that. They're like good backup typing, but they're just heavily outshadowed by Pokemon here and above. These guys are either good typings, or they're good for just like either good early game, or they have good typings but overshadowed. I could almost make another tier here, but I'm not going to. So I've got the good early game Pokemon, good Elite Four Pokemon. Let's do this. I'll do like, I honestly think Blaziken's the back here. Something along the lines of this. That good Pokemon, but not quite as good as the A-. Is gonna be here, B tier. You carry Watson, Flannery in that like section of the game, and you just 1v1 scary Pokemon your team's not ready for. You are good, but you're not quite as good as these guys up here. And then yeah, talk about all of that. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this list. So when I do the run of B tier and below Pokemon, I'm gonna do this and down. I'm gonna do B plus and down. So none of these guys up here, which are some of the none of these guys up here. It's gonna be this whole section down here, which is gonna make for interesting. I've still got some good stuff with like these guys up here, and then running with a lot of these guys down here. So that's gonna do it for the video. I know it's a long one. My voice is tired. Thank you guys for tuning in. Norman guide coming soon. Got more video content coming out. Anyways, love y'all. Peace.